fucking want to do now, you fucking idiot?
Negative. I'm waiting for my sergeant, another unit. She's irate.
Man, can I please call you an ambulance? Do you have any thoughts of harming yourself?
All of you stupid, fat, fucking white privilege motherfuckers!
This all just started with a basic speeding stop. The woman was reportedly driving at 57 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. But instead of cooperating, she immediately escalated the situation. Before officers even had a chance to explain, she was already yelling and claiming the officer had no right to stop her because her car was parked.
Hello?
I'm on the phone with your police department right now. You can't pull me over when my car's off.
Yeah, I can, because I got you speeding before you were stopped, so.
You should have had your lights on. You can't have your lights on and pull me over after. You have a cop right here trying to pull me over when my car's off and I'm in a parked out parking spot. That's illegal and you can't do that. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel safe and I want him away from my car.
Case 1. She repeatedly called 911 while sitting in her parked car, using extremely offensive and aggressive language. She claimed she was being harassed and demanded that other officers and a sergeant be sent. Her behavior kept escalating. She used dozens of profanities, slurs, and made it clear she did not trust or accept the authority of the officer involved. She also falsely accused him of violating the law himself and showed zero interest in reasoning or calming down. Her anger appeared to be completely out of proportion to the original traffic stop.
Wow, yeah. Oh shit. When the f is he getting here? Damn, what is this ETA? I got some white privilege signing the fucking light in my fucking window. Fucking trigger happy shit-faced friends down the street, huh? I can't even know what I fucking want to do now, you fucking idiot!
Negative. I'm waiting for my sergeant, another unit.
Yeah! This is a fucking emergency! You're fucking shit-faced pig!
The entire interaction was emotionally charged, with her showing signs of extreme agitation, hostility, and possibly unmanaged mental health concerns. She verbally insulted law enforcement continuously, even screaming threats and vulgarities through her car window.
The sergeant you requested?
Yeah.
How can I help you?
What the fuck is going on?
Okay. Well, from my understanding is you were traveling 57 in a 40-mile-an-hour zone, and that was the reason for the stop.
I'm in a fucking parking spot.
No.
That's
You
it.
sure about that?
Yeah.
So he didn't.
I was in the parking spot before that fucking f***ing turned his fucking lights on.
You might have parked, and then he conducted the traffic stop. That can't happen.
I've been parked for a good minute. Can't fucking do that.
Sure he can.
No, the fuck he can't.
I don't need to pull his video right now.
Get video.
Ma'am, I don't need to pull his video right now.
You're gonna believe the fucking word against mine?
I am, yeah.
I don't fucking think so.
Okay, well, here's what's gonna happen then. All right? We'll write the citation, and then you can take it. Yep. Okay, I understand that you might not feel that's right.
No, you don't. You want to fucking die? Get the fuck away from me! Get away from me! Get the fuck away from me!
You screaming at me is not gonna solve anything right now.
Why are you down to the fucking neck and say, get the fuck away from me!
Are you threatening me now?
Get away from me!
When the sergeant arrived, the woman showed no signs of calming down. She continued to use slurs and aggressive language, claiming she was in the parking spot long before the officer activated his lights. The sergeant explained that a traffic stop can still occur after someone parks, especially if the violation was already seen. But she kept interrupting, insisting the officer had no right to ticket her. She demanded video evidence, screamed profanities, and accused both officers of lying. Her behavior quickly became violent. She shouted threats such as stabbing the officer in the neck and screamed that she wanted them away from her car. She was not holding back. She insulted both officers with vulgar language and even threatened their lives.
Thank you.
Do you recognize this person?
Yeah, I've dealt with her before.
You can just disconnect with her. We're here. If you want to. I mean, she's just gonna keep yelling at you.
I mean, we could do disorderly conduct.
At one point, she even threatened to kill an officer if he came closer. It became clear this was no longer just a traffic violation, but a serious safety risk. The officers attempted to de-escalate, but she wouldn't stop yelling and swearing. When the citation was finally issued, she refused to take it peacefully and continued screaming. Eventually, they backed away from further verbal exchange to avoid more escalation. She had crossed a line from being uncooperative to actively dangerous. Even at this point, she was still screaming and blaming everyone but herself. But this confrontation didn't end at the parking lot.
Why the f doesn't he get a ticket?
Ma'am, I can help you talk to somebody.
He didn't use his turn signal!
Ma'am, can I please call you an ambulance? Do you have any thoughts of harming yourself?
Where the f is he?
After being issued the speeding ticket, the woman made a decision that made the situation worse. She followed the police sergeant back to the station. She drove behind him for the full 5-minute trip, and her behavior remained unstable the entire time. She kept shouting about the sergeant not using a turn signal and screamed that he should get a ticket just like she did. According to her, this was proof of double standards.
Guys, keep costing me money, and you do whatever the fuck you want! I wish I was a cop so I could shoot all of you the fuck up and get a pat on the back for it! You stupid! I will pull the fuck over there then!
He was like, whichever officer pulled away without their...
He'll talk to you on the sidewalk. He's not going to talk.
So I need to pull the fuck over there because he's that fucking fat and lazy.
Okay, then
Well, if you would like to have a conversation, you can attempt it.
She accused the officers of targeting her unfairly, saying she was being harassed and mistreated. Her yelling became more intense, and she said hateful and violent things, including expressing a wish to harm police officers and claiming she'd receive praise for it. She demanded to speak to the same officer again, yelling obscenities, and still stuck on the issue of a turn signal. The officers were concerned enough to consider calling for mental health intervention or medical attention, especially because she had made threats about running people over and harming them. By now, officers were not only dealing with a ticket, but a person who appeared completely disconnected from reality. Even after all that, she stepped out and confronted the officer she had been following. Her focus was completely on one thing: the officer allegedly not using his turn signal. She yelled, cursed, and continued using slurs while insisting he admit fault. The officer attempted to explain he did use a signal, but she cut him off again and again. She rejected every word, continued her insults, and began accusing both the officer and his colleague of lying together. At this point, she was offered a formal process to file a complaint. She agreed but didn't move toward the building or calm down. Instead, her behavior escalated again. She was told to put her hands behind her back, but she resisted. She screamed that her hand was broken and kept yelling that officers were hurting her. Despite their attempts to handle her safely, she began to thrash, curse, and scream louder. She accused the officers of intentionally hurting her broken hand and yelled threats of violence, including threatening to kill them.
Okay, hands behind you.
Yeah, watch out, it's broken!
Hands behind your back.
Ow!
All right, just...
You're touching my broken hand! You're touching my broken hand! I will fucking kill you!
Watch your mouth. She's sweaty.
You're touching my broken hand!
Get it in.
Get off of me!
The struggle to detain her was loud and difficult. Her body language remained highly aggressive, and she showed no signs of cooperating. Officers told her to bring her knees up to help her breathe easier, but she refused, kept screaming about her hand, and shouted racist and sexist insults. Her refusal to calm down, along with her threats and extreme language, made the scene even more volatile. Even while sitting on the ground, she kept yelling and demanded to know who touched her car.
What's fucking ambulance? I'm not getting in a fucking ambulance. No, you're gonna repo my fucking car!
No.
I want my car! You fucking fuck! Give me my car! Give me my car! You're gonna fucking repo it!
No, I'm not.
Just to the curb, spine. We'll carry her.
No, give me my car!
Get in here. Each grab a leg. All right. One. Get on. Grab a leg. No, what? No.
Give me my fucking car!
Go.
Yeah, you stupid. That's what the fuck happens when you touch my shit.
Finally, officers told her that her car had been moved slightly to make room for emergency vehicles. She became convinced it was being repossessed. She screamed that they were stealing it and refused to believe otherwise. When she was told an ambulance was coming, she refused medical help, screamed at officers, and demanded her vehicle and personal belongings immediately. Officers had to physically lift and carry her, as she refused to cooperate in any way. She kept demanding her phone, accusing them of theft, screaming obscenities, and even spitting on an officer's face. This level of physical and verbal aggression forced the officers to use a spit hood to protect themselves. She then began screaming louder, insisting her hand was broken and that she couldn't be touched.
You touch my face! Don't touch my face!
All right. Lean forward.
You want my phone? Give me my phone! I want my phone! Oh, oh.
Even while officers tried to calm her and provide basic care, she kept demanding her possessions and accusing them of assault. She screamed about her animals at home needing medicine, yelled at everyone nearby, and kept blaming the officers for everything. A few months after the incident, the woman was arrested again in another intense situation. For this specific case, she was charged with 3 counts of aggravated battery on a peace officer, disorderly conduct, and filing a false 911 report. She was found guilty only for filing the false report. She received 90 days in jail, but since she had already served 141 days, she didn't need to serve more time. She was also sentenced to 24 months of probation with random drug testing, community service, and a curfew. In addition, she had to pay more than $3,000 in fines. Now before you leave, don't forget to give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and also ring that notification bell as well.